Hello, dear listener. Today I want to tell you a story that is simple yet deeply touching. A story about hope, choices, and a moment that changes everything. This is the story many call Soapy's Choice, based on O. Henry's famous tale called The Cop and the Anthem. So, get comfortable, because today we walk through the cold streets of New York together. Winter was arriving early that year. The wind felt sharper, the nights grew longer, and the streets of New York City became a place only the strongest could survive. And in the middle of that cold city was a man named Soapy. Soapy had no home, no warm jacket, no bed waiting for him, only a thin coat and shoes that were almost falling apart. And winter was his enemy. Every year, when the cold arrived, Soapy always made the same choice. He would go to jail. Yes, jail. Because for him, jail meant survival. A warm bed, hot meals, a safe place to sleep. For Soapy, prison was not punishment. It was shelter. That morning, as the wind pushed against him like an icy hand, he whispered to himself, "It's time. I must go in for the winter." The restaurant plan. Soapy's first idea was simple. He walked toward a large, elegant restaurant on Broadway. Its windows glowed with warm, golden light. Inside, people ate steak, potatoes, fresh bread, and Soapy could almost smell the butter melting on the plates. He imagined himself inside, sitting, eating, enjoying a real meal. Then, after finishing, he would say, "I can't pay." The police would come. He would be arrested. Winter would be solved. But when he tried to enter, the waiter looked at him from head to toe, his old coat, his shoes, his face that had seen too many cold nights. The waiter lifted his chin and said, "Full tonight." Even though Soapy could see several empty tables, he understood the real message. He wasn't welcome. The door closed behind him with a soft thud, and Soapy felt the warmth disappear. The broken window. He walked down the street frustrated. He needed a new plan. Then he saw a small shop window filled with colorful clothes. He looked at it, then picked up a stone from the sidewalk. "This will get me arrested." He threw the stone. Crash! Glass shattered loudly across the pavement. A police officer came running. "Who broke that window?" Soapy smiled a little and raised his hand. "I did. Yes, it was me." He waited to be handcuffed, but the policeman frowned and shook his head. "You? Nah, you don't look like someone who'd break it." And he ran off, chasing a man who wasn't even there. Soapy stood alone next to the broken glass, feeling like the city itself refused to take him in. He tried again. He walked into a small cafe, not fancy, not expensive. He sat, ordered a big meal, and ate everything with satisfaction. Hot soup, a plate of beef, coffee, even a little dessert. He felt warm again. When he finished, he told the waiter, "I have no money." Instead of calling the police, the waiter called the cook, and together They grabbed Soapy by the collar and threw him out onto the street. Not even one policeman in sight. The cold wind hit him again. His stomach was full, but his plan had failed. He stood near a busy street and started shouting loudly, dancing, jumping, singing terribly. People stared, annoyed. Soapy thought, surely, this time the police will come. A police officer watched him carefully. He's just drunk. He'll go home soon. But Soapy had no home. Soapy stopped shouting. He felt tired, defeated. It was as if the whole city was refusing to arrest him. Soapy walked slowly down a quiet street. His legs were heavy. His hope was fading. Then suddenly, he heard something soft. Singing. A beautiful anthem coming from a small church nearby. He stopped. The voices were warm, full, peaceful, like a gentle light in the darkness. For the first time in many years, something inside Soapy began to move. Memories of his old life came back, a life where he had dreams, a future, a purpose. He looked at the church's warm windows and whispered, I could change. I can still change my life. He felt hope, real hope. He imagined finding work, becoming responsible, trying again. His heart felt lighter. It's not too late, he said. It's not too late for me. But life can be cruelly ironic. A police officer approached him. What are you doing here? Move along. Soapy turned, smiling gently. No, officer, listen. I want to change. I want to find work. I want to... But the policeman didn't let him finish. You're loitering. Come with me. Handcuffs clicked around Soapy's wrists. The hope inside him fell silent. The next morning, Soapy stood before a judge. 3 months in prison. Soapy lowered his head. The anthem from the church still whispered in his mind, but now it felt far away. The moment he finally decided to change was the moment he lost his chance. That was Soapy's choice, a choice that came just 1 minute too late. This story is sad but powerful. It reminds us that sometimes the smallest moment of hope can come at the hardest time. It reminds us that change is possible, but the world will not always wait for us. Soapy wanted to open a new chapter, but fate closed the door too soon. Thank you for listening to this emotional retelling of Soapy's choice. If you want more deep, meaningful stories, stay with me. Together, we'll explore them one by one.